talk a little bit, just briefly, about how to start a business in Louisiana, the various steps that you'll need to take, a few of the different functions you'll find on the Secretary of State website, which will help you in managing your business. Right off the bat, I would say that you want to create a GoBiz account. Now, GoBiz is a website which has been created by the Secretary of State to consolidate both their filing process as well as that and the Department of Revenue. If you choose not to do the online filing process, that's fine, but you'll probably need
to register for some tax accounts with them after the fact. So, the businesses that you can form are corporations, limited liability companies, general partnerships, limited partnerships, and limited liability partnerships. So if you click on each one of those, you'll get a more detailed tutorial on how to file. Normally, we tell business representatives to perform a business entity search. That's usually to check whether or not the name that you plan on using is unique to you within the state. Now, Louisiana is just a little bit different because they ask that people perform a name reservation, especially if you're going to file online. The reason for that is you need to use your federal employer identification number to perform the online filing. In order to get that number, you're going to need to use your name reservation to ensure that, one, the name is 100% unique, and then you can go ahead and create that employer identification number, and then you can plug that into the online registration forms. Also, if you're not planning on filing online, you can still use it to reserve your name. Now, I think it's nonprofit corporations, limited liability companies, and low-profit limited liability companies that can reserve for 60 days and have the option of 2 free 30-day extensions. Why they do that, I'm not sure, because everybody else can reserve for 120 days, $25 across the board. As we said before, the GoBiz, I won't go over it too much here. There's a tutorial on how to log in and how to use your GoBiz account pretty much. You're going to need to sign up for one. They require very little information, just your name and your email address. That's pretty much it. So yeah, basically, how do you register in Louisiana? So as I said, the first step is performing a name reservation, getting your EIN. Sometimes it's called Federal Employer Identification Number. Get that, then you can register with the Secretary of State online. I recommend that you perform a name reservation anyway, just to make sure nobody swoops in and takes your name in the amount of time that it takes you to actually file. And then once you've ensured that your name is completely unique, you can go ahead and fill out the forms. And we have detailed tutorials of each one of the different corporation, company, and partnership types here. Logging into your GoBiz account is, of course, something that you're going to have to do before you fill out any of the forms. If you decide to do the PDF route, you can download the PDF here, fill it out on your computer, and then print it off. Now, step 3 is assuming that you've completed all the forms. That means online that you've gone through not only the Secretary of State, but also the Department of Revenue and the Louisiana Workforce Commission, and that you have all your forms together. So if you're a foreign entity, you do have to also provide a certificate of good standing, which has been issued 60 days before you're filing with the Secretary of State of Louisiana. You have all this together, now you can pay the filing fee. If you're doing this online, you've got to do it by credit card. You'll see at the end of your whole process there'll be all the various fields where you need to enter in your credit card information. Sorry for that notification that keeps coming up telling me my computer's slow. It is indeed slow. At any rate, if you're filing for a paper application, you're going to want to make a check, or on the transmittal form, you'll see when you download the PDF, first form is just all the contact information that you need to enter. You'll have like a credit card information, and you can fill that out obviously to pay by credit card, or you can just check off the check option, and then you make a check made payable to the Secretary of State for whatever your filing fee is. So we have all the filing fees here. I'm not going to list them off because I'm sure you can read them. It's not too bad in this state. That's pretty
pretty average. So once the filing fee has been paid, GoBiz filers, you're pretty much done. You can click up, there's like a checkout and file option. Click on that, and then the Secretary of State will notify you when you've been approved. The last step for paper filers is you've got to mail all your forms. So that's the registration form, the transmittal form, certificate of good standing, as well as the filing fee to this address here. And that'll complete your filing. We already spoke about name reservations and why they're important. I won't go over that for a third time. Agreements. So, partnerships actually have to have a partnership agreement written out before they file with the Secretary of State. This is going to dictate the relationship between partners and between partners in the partnership. What that means is the initial capital contribution of all partners, pretty much the power they have, all the rules and regulations that are going to be operated under in your partnership and in your company need to be relayed in this agreement. The other corporate bylaws and LLC operating agreement, not legally required, but they pretty much serve the same purpose. You're just dictating exactly how you're going to go about running your company. You need to have all the general partners or the officers of your corporation or initial organizers of your LLC to sign it and agree to the terms on it, and then draft it, or file it for their own personal filing so they can use it for future reference. And finally, the employer identification number. And as I spoke about a little bit before, it's absolutely crucial that you get this number before you start filing online. You should get it. I mean, any business which hires employees or plans on conducting any level of financial transaction really will need to have an employer identification number. This is absolutely vital. You can visit our tutorials on the online and the PDF application process here and here, and I'll sort of just walk you through the IRS website. Yeah, and once you've completed that, and say you filed like through paper filing and your employment identification number, you're smart, it's ready to go in the state of Louisiana. So that's just a general overview. I hope that was helpful. Best of luck to you guys.